Good morning, buddy. Welcome to Monday. Today is October 14th, and it's a little cool out here. I want to start out by saying again, thank you to each and every one of my subscribers who rode the waves with me last week. It was definitely a week. I thank you all for your condolences on the loss of my dog. This will probably be one of the last times we have a genuine talk about that experience. As you know, that was not an easy experience for me. I am not a publicly emotional person as a general rule. So the fact that I was able to be vulnerable with you all lets you know just how much A, I love you, and B, I trust you with that sensitive information. Going forward, as much as I thank you, I would really rather not talk about it any more than that. Simply because, as much as I am trying to move forward, I'm also trying not to address the emotional trauma that goes with the loss of someone or something you care very, very much for. And he was a someone, not a something. Having said that, let's start our day with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day, and by the way, I'm going to give you a bonus quote because yesterday's quote knocked it out the park. But today's quote: the actions of men are the best interpreters of their thoughts. And that's by James Joyce. And man, oh man, is that true. What someone demonstrates tells you a lot about who they are and what they think. If you see a situation where you could render aid and you walk by, it speaks volumes about what you think about your fellow man. Remember that. Mm. Oh, yes. Coffee of the day. Coffee of today isn't very fancy. It's just very, very good. And forgive me, it's a little cool. But the coffee of the day is just our basic chai latte by Atkins. And I added a little bit of nutmeg and cardamom spice to the Cafe Bustelo instant coffee, blended, of course, with my fake sugar and my little bit of hot water with my frother, poured it over some ice, and boom, the girl is happy. No syrup today. Didn't really feel like it. Might add a pump later. Who knows? But for now, it is exactly what I need. I did not want to get up this morning. I'm not even gonna pretend. I didn't. I was so comfortable. It took me a while to get to sleep, of course. I'm still adjusting to the absence of sound. And yesterday was a running day, a busy, busy day for me, as most Sundays are. But yesterday was especially busy because, in the midst of everything I normally do, I had the opportunity, and I took it, to spend some time in the wild. I saw that. That's Harold. Apparently, he's back. Anyway, I had the chance to go into the wild and hang out with somebody who needed to talk. And I don't know that those of you who've been with me for a minute know exactly how serious I take mental health. If somebody contacts me and says, "Hey, I need to talk and I need to talk now," as much as I'm capable of doing so, I stop what I'm doing and I go and I listen. If I can offer advice, I do. If I can offer you support, I will. That is who I am. It is what I do. It is my calling, just like crochet. So I did. I'm glad that I did. And I hope that, if only listening was enough, that I did enough of that. Because, of course, I'm still Michelle. And yes, I advised and suggested and tried to help this person come up with a plan to move forward in their situation. So there's that. Let's talk about the weather because you'll notice I have on my sweater because couldn't come out here in short sleeves today. That's not an option. Today's weather is currently 49 degrees. Yes, I am sitting on the porch in 49 degrees. And yes, I've tucked my hands into my sweater. It's only supposed to get to 62 degrees today. Um, that that's actually really rather nice for a mid-October day. No complaint. So there's that to consider as far as our weather here in our area. I certainly hope that the weather where you are is what you want it to be. A lot of our friends in these YouTube streets have experienced some very unpleasant weather, and the repercussions of it haven't been good. My heart goes out to each and every one of those people and each and one of their families. If you haven't heard from somebody recently, check on them. Make sure they're okay. Please. Um, Forgive my blushing smile, but thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. When I got up Saturday, I was cleaning up some things, and I always say to you guys, and I don't think you really understand just how much I don't understand the analytics of YouTube. I really don't. I want to learn more. And I guess I could spend some time watching some videos to learn more, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. I will. Having said that, I knew Saturday I had 298 amazing subscribers. I felt abundantly blessed to have your attention, to have you as my crew who keeps me jumping on this camera and hopping into this chair on this porch to say good morning. And then it's 7 o'clock. I'm about to climb into bed for the day and to be done with my Saturday. And It's Raining Yarn is live. And the first thought I had was, this is early for him. That's unusual. And he's chatting along, and I, spoke in the chat because I was very happy to see him early. He's a riot. I'm going to make sure I tag his channel because you got to give Russ a view. But I say that almost backwards because of course, he's a bigger channel than I am. And he's funny. He is absolutely funny. And as much as I thought I knew about yarn, I have learned so much more. When I have the guilties about my little yarn acquisitions, and I do mean little, I go and I watch his channel and I realize, oh no, my darling, you have nothing. Nothing. He is a yarnaholic. There needs to be a 12-step program, and yet there will not be because he is Russ, and Russ will not change. Having said that, as I said, I was climbing in the bed, and he sees that I'm in the chat, and JB's Crochet is in the chat, and he says, "Hey, you guys, I'm gonna drop a link. If you want to come on up, please do." Okay, I had always kind of secretly wanted to be on panel with him and chat with him because, like I said, I love his channel. I think he's hilarious. So I was privileged enough to take a few minutes, get myself together, and pop on live. Having already watched Juan do it, I already knew this is not going to be a 30-minute or a 1 hour session. Russ does marathons. And of course, in the course of our conversation that night, unfortunately, he wasn't able to monetize it because the conversation went way off the rails, and not badly. Not badly. It was fun. I'm not even gonna, I'm not gonna hold you. It was fun. But he couldn't monetize that video because it went places. And yes, we chatted about the fact that I had just under 300, and my goal for this week was to go over 300. And he was like, "Oh, mods, drop her link." And they did. And a few moments later, he was like, "Okay, you're over 300 now." And I was like thunderstruck. Like, wow, that happened just like that. You think you're going to bed? Oh, no. The powers that be have another plan. And the plan was enacted. So, what I am going to do this morning is take a look at where we are, because though I did look yesterday morning, you if you don't know anything about what we see on this side of the screen, is the numbers look different because, as Spring explained, and Spring is the fiber enthusiast who is crazy, and I love her. She does everything, by the way. I mean, legit everything. So you need to check her channel out too. Note to self, add Spring. Okay, there. Um, I ended up with 331 subscribers, and a lot of you are new. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming. I hope to offer you an entertaining experience on the front porch. The other thing I do when I'm done running my mouth, and I'm pretty astute at running my mouth, is I crochet. I don't talk while I crochet. Um, there's usually nature sounds in the background because I just want you to be my crochet buddy for a little bit. I don't explain what I'm crocheting at that time. I will share with you that today I am working on a side panel for a duster sweater that I'm making. The pattern started out one way. The pattern is now a recipe. These are the parts that will make up the sweater, and I am changing all of that because I wanted to. I wanted to. There were some things about the pattern that, though it was their pattern, it didn't work for what I wanted it to be. So, as we fiber artists do, I made some adjustments. So, with that said, welcome. I love you. I thank you. And I hope you like what you see. To everyone, please do me a favor. Eat, drink your water. Take care of yourself. You need to be good to you. And in the process of that, you're going to be doing that for me, because I love you. I need you. And I'm proud of you. So, what I wanted to talk with you today about, and we're going to have a real quick conversation because I want to crochet. I really want to crochet this morning before the daycare arrives, and I'm bound and set to do the duties of the day. Is I want you to fall in love with organization. And some people think, oh, that means cleaning, or that means a lot of overwhelming feelings about that. And I don't want to deal with that. I am personally guilty of that. I am not the best at that. But there's some steps that we can all take to improve our organization, whether it's the organization of our yarn, or the organization of our space, or the organization of our thoughts. I am, for the lack of a better word, a very schedule oriented person. I have to be. I juggle a lot of things. I have a home daycare. I have my commitments that I've made to you, my Yarny community. I have the responsibilities as a pet parent. I still have all of that to deal with. I have my health to address and my attempts to improve that. All of the appointments for, my adult child who's in college and the things that go with being that parent. So, yeah, I have a lot of things that I juggle simultaneously, and periodically I try to be a friend to somebody in the real world, as well as on the Yarny streets and other aspects of my YouTube communities. So, with that said, there's a couple of things that make it possible for me to organize. The first thing is I start with a schedule. And whether you do it through your electronics, virtual calendars, or whatever you use, I'm a paper and pen person. I like my decorative planner, I will admit, and I share with anyone. I'm a happy planner girl. I'm making some changes because this year I think I'm going to try a different planner presenter, and that would be Live Love Posh, because she's doing a very minimalistic virtual plan, not virtual, I'm sorry, vertical planner. And I'm looking forward to trying that. So that will be what I will be using starting in January. But it's still the same, same elements of the planner series that I will be using. It gives me 3 basic boxes per day because there are 3 basic spaces in my life I want to focus on. I'll write down all the things that need to be written down and I'll move forward. I like to make notes about the things that I'm trying to do, whether that is in the case of our videos. I have a schedule. I write down the entire month schedule. I start thinking about it in the middle of the month. Usually the third Saturday of the month, I take an hour to an hour and a half and I think and process out every book I want to talk about, every term I want to discuss and introduce to you, and every topic of conversation, every element of presentation, such as the things we did with the bags and stuff like that. So yeah, I think about all of that because I love you enough to give you the best that I can from the front porch. That is not to say that anyone is out of order to just fly by the seat of their pants. I'm just not that. I'm not good enough to do that. I'm I'm type A and I'm a control monster. So you get this from me that way. So I start with the schedule. I schedule how much time I am going to commit to my organization. When it comes to my yarnscape, I schedule time to clean up the crazy that I create through the week. So that's how scheduling is applicable to what we do. I create a plan for where things go. I consider my space and my budget. That also, applies to my time. I consider I have a daily commitment Monday through Friday that from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I'm committed to my daycare. That means if people are gathering at 10 o'clock in the morning at the library to crochet, I can't go. And I'm all right with that because I like my little people. They are awesome. And I love hanging out with them because their kind of crazy gets my kind of crazy going. I also love that they nap and I can crochet. So that's a serious consideration. Um, my budget. I cannot meet somebody at the local yarn store on Saturday and spend $800 on Malabrigo yarn. It's not in the budget, so it's not happening. And I'm all right with that too. I write down what I have and I shop my stash. When it comes to my yarns, my yarn supplies, I don't hide the fact that 99% of my yarn is budget friendly yarn. It is, yarn I bought at a big box or I bought online from a major, producer. Do I have some bougie yarn? A little, very little. I love it. It's not in my financial wheelhouse to make that happen because I have this really unique and maybe not so unique, but I have a habit. I like to eat. I like to reach for a light switch and have it turn on and light comes on. So, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to the things I consider to be a priority. And for me, the basics are more of a priority than being able to purchase a new Stanley cake that I see on someone's, scape and go, oh, I want that. Oh, I do. It's just not about to happen today. So those are the three elements of falling in love with organization. I really want you to consider. Start with that. Write down the yarns that you have before you run out to the next, sale at Joann's or Michael's or wherever you may be going, Walmart, and know what you have before you go out and buy more yarn because sometimes I'm guilty of it just like everybody else. I have thought, oh, I want to make this Afghan and I need 6 balls of this yarn, only to realize I have 12 of that already in my stash and I didn't look, and now I have 18 of the same colorway, same yarn. And apparently the wind has something to say about that. Mm, that's so, so good. Yes. Anyway, having said all that, I am about to flip us over and do some crochet. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you for giving me a reason to smile. I feel a brightness in my life because I have you in my life. That means everything to me. I hope you eat. I hope you smile at somebody, either conspiratorially because you and they are in cahoots on doing something fun and crazy, or you smile at them because you make them nervous. Try something new today, but most importantly, for me, please have some fun today. I'll see you on the porch tomorrow, but don't leave yet. Hang out with me. I'm going to crochet. You do what you do, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye bye.